One Piece has to be one of the best animes, and yet one of the most coolest animes I've ever seen. I mean, despite Naruto being, honestly, in my opinion, one of the most coolest animes ever, One Piece has to go on my top second list. I mean, with that obviously goes My Hero Academia and stuff like that. I know last video, hey, listen, dude, the entire anime genre, every time I see a new episode, anime or whatever, my anime list changes literally every single day. Like, for example, if I see a really cool One Piece episode, I'm like, yeah, today is my day. One Piece will go on #1 slot, and #2 will be Naruto. I mean, that's literally who I am. But, like, One Piece has to be the coolest and one of the weirdest animes I've ever seen. I mean, here's the thing. The action is there. I don't really like the action, in my opinion. Listen, I don't know what it is about One Piece's action. For me, it's never really going to compare, like, on Naruto's action, for example, where the powers are literally godlike and you're looking at it like, oh my god. But no, I do feel like One Piece is doing a good job on, like, adventuring, and I like it, dude. I like it. Naruto focuses on power, while One Piece is focusing on adventure, and especially just going outside in the world and moving on and adventuring, even culture, religion, and all of that stuff. I mean, to be fair, what I mean by religion, I mean, remember how in, like, the very first, I think it was the very first season ever, or second season, not entirely 100% sure, but when they were going to the Grand Line, they see two giants, and these giants would pretty much fight over, their own religion, and, how Luffy disagrees and all that stuff. No spoilers, go ahead and watch it if you haven't seen it, but like I said, like One Piece does a really good job with stuff like, I don't know, adventuring. Even stuff like the Boxed Man, and even now Egghead Island, which is really awesome. And I like the creativity of One Piece, and it's fun. Here's the thing. The giants scare me sometimes. The giants look so weird, and they look, like, really big. And there's tons of giants. I think from the very first giant was Usopp, and then I'm pretty sure Blackbeard. Again, I haven't watched it on much. I've only seen, like I said, like, I'm talking about this by seeing other people talk about One Piece. So I have not seen every part of One Piece. Stuff like giants and stuff like this, like, literally, I'm not gonna lie, it feels so weird watching, because I'm like watching, Goliath versus David sometimes, or I see a big ass giant versus a little kid throwing a stone, boom, and that little kid throwing a stone is, Luffy punching the living hell out of these giants. And, like, giants in, like, the One Piece universe is so weird, because I get it, they're trying to make them look so powerful, but why do they have to be gigantic, for God's sake? Like, they don't need to be gigantic. They're like 10 feet tall or something. You might see one big-ass giant on a day-to-day in One Piece world, and you're like, holy crap, I have to fight this? Like, oh my god. Like, I don't know what it is, but giants in the One Piece world is very weird. No, but I actually do like the idea of an adventurous anime. Obviously, we don't see this very much often, and we don't see a adventurous anime trying to mix in with a little bit powers. A lot of times when you see adventurous animes, these adventure animes, we will see them as, with powerless, right? Now, here's the thing. I don't really have an anime in mind that's adventure, but there is one specific anime I have in mind, and I don't know really the name, but pretty much what it is, these kids exploring a deep hole, and that's pretty much it. They have literally no powers, no nothing. These little kids go down, explore holes, and literally do whatever. And honestly, I feel like One Piece does a good job between balancing and adventure, like balancing the powers and adventuring on the world. And honestly, it does really an amazing job. And I feel like despite not having really great action, in my opinion, I do see One Piece being one of the most all-time animes out there, and it will be very long-lasting. I'm talking 10 to 20 years, where One Piece is going to be an anime where it's going to be filled with adventures, and the powers will not only be limitless, but it's only limitless because on how adventurous they are. Like, I know there's a lot of animes out there, and the powers feel so limited because they don't really adventure around the world. However, One Piece does a good job with this, and therefore they are actually kind of forced to introduce powers. And instead of making them even more powerful, they could simply make them a little bit weaker, but maybe seem a little powerful, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But whatever it is, One Piece does a really good job with that, and honestly, I do like it. And here's the thing, I'm going to keep on watching One Piece. I haven't watched it in a long time. I'm on the giant arc right now, but I haven't watched it in a long time. I'm going to keep on watching One Piece, and honestly, if anyone has not watched One Piece, I recommend it, okay? 100% recommend it now. Always, always, always watch One Piece, okay? One Piece is goated. Also, there is like a little dot right there, if you see that. I don't know what that is. Literally, there's nothing on the camera. It's probably like a drop or something, like water droplets or something like that. But yeah, ignore it. I mean, I tried to block it. It's probably also this, but yeah, again, ignore that. I don't know what that is. Oh, now I know. I know what it is. So let me explain why there's a little tiny thing here. It's simply because my camera is covered with the screen protector, and it has a little bubble on it, and for some reason that tiny little bubble, it's right there. So it's like so tiny, you can see it there, and you can literally see it all the time whatsoever. I don't know why it's like that. I mean, I know I'm off topic, but I don't know why it's like that. Anyways, moving on, okay? No, but I do think One Piece has to be one of the greatest animes of all time when it comes with adventures and so much more. And I think people should watch it. And yes, it's 1,000 episodes, but 1,000 episodes is like, no way, bro. I said fro, I don't know. But bro, 1,000 episodes, like with an adventure animes is supposed to be limitless. And the fact that there's 1,000 episodes within it and there's still more to come, it's crazy. And One Piece is gonna show what is limitless with adventure. I mean, hey, listen, there's stuff like literally anything that you think of, adventure, like any anime that has adventures will introduce limitless of ideas whatsoever. And because of One Piece literally being one of the top adventure animes and has powers and everything, it will introduce literally limitless of everything. I'm talking limitless technology, literally everything about One Piece will be limitless, even in the near future. And even if he finds I don't know, what is it called? The One Piece, right? Jeez, I forget, even though it says it on the intro, but like literally, even if he captures the One Piece, right, it's still going to be an anime where it has limitless of opportunities and it can explore throughout different angles. I know I said this before, but honestly, for me, I love One Piece. I absolutely do, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than that, yeah, that's all I gotta say. But make sure you like and subscribe if you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.